More than 2,000 years ago, a powerful approach to life was born, one that could help us turn even our biggest challenges into opportunities for growth. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy from Greece and Rome, teaches that while we may not control everything that happens to us, we have complete control over how we respond. Imagine facing daily stress, setbacks, or even harsh criticism with unshakable calm. That's the essence of Stoicism. It's not about ignoring or suppressing emotions, but learning how to manage them with wisdom and purpose. In a world where uncertainty is constant, these timeless teachings offer a solid foundation for living with resilience, clarity, and inner peace. From being stuck in traffic to dealing with negativity online, Stoicism reminds us that peace comes not from changing the world, but from mastering our response to it. As Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Stoicism isn't just an idea, it's a practical way of living that helps us find joy, strength, and meaning in everyday moments. Think about it. Traffic jams, bad weather, or rude comments online are all things we can't control, no matter how much we wish we could. But what is in our control is how we choose to react. This core idea of Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom, it's echoed in modern psychology too. Carl Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become," which aligns perfectly with Stoic thought. Imagine being stuck in traffic, running late for a meeting. You could fume and honk endlessly, or take a breath, accept the delay, and use that time to listen to something uplifting. The situation doesn't change, but your mindset does, and with that, your stress fades. This Stoic principle goes far beyond traffic. It applies to how we pursue goals, handle adversity, and interact with others. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So the next time life throws you something frustrating, ask yourself, is this in my control? If not, let it go. Focus instead on your response, and watch how that simple shift transforms your experience. Practicing Stoicism daily isn't always easy, but the effort is worth it. It's about steady progress, not perfection, and over time, this mindset helps us move from merely surviving challenges to thriving through them. One of the most powerful Stoic teachings is the idea of embracing obstacles as opportunities. While it may sound counterintuitive, Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus saw setbacks not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones for growth. Marcus famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Instead of asking, "Why me?" when life gets hard, the Stoic response is, "What can I learn?" This idea isn't limited to ancient texts. Modern psychology echoes it too. Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists," reminding us that fighting obstacles often gives them more power, while acceptance leads to transformation. Whether it's facing job rejections or navigating personal conflicts, each challenge holds a hidden lesson. A failed interview could highlight a skill to develop. A tense conversation could sharpen our empathy and communication. The key is shifting our mindset from passive suffering to active learning. When we start seeing problems as chances to grow, we reclaim our power. As Epictetus said, "It's not about what happens to us, it's how we respond that truly defines us." At the heart of Stoicism lies a simple but powerful idea. Obstacles aren't just things to overcome, they're chances to grow. When faced with a challenge, instead of reacting with frustration, pause and reframe it. Ask yourself what the moment is trying to teach you. This mindset shift helps us handle life with more resilience and wisdom. Another core Stoic teaching is the art of living in the present moment. We often hear, "Live in the now," but in practice it means letting go of past regrets and future worries to fully engage with the life unfolding right in front of us. Marcus Aurelius once advised, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." The present is where clarity, meaning, and peace reside, but it's easy to miss when our minds are filled with noise. Carl Jung echoed this truth, saying even the smallest meaningful experience outweighs the grandest but empty one. Living in the present isn't about ignoring the past or future. It's about anchoring ourselves in what we can experience and influence right now. Aristotle believed this awareness was key to eudaimonia, a life of fulfillment and virtue. Whether it's savoring a meal, having a real conversation, or simply noticing your breath, being fully present brings depth to even the smallest moments. Mindfulness is where it begins, the simple act of paying attention without judgment. Whether it's savoring a meal, feeling the ground beneath your feet as you walk, or truly listening to someone without rehearsing your reply, these small moments ground us in the present. Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future," reminding us that worrying about what's next or dwelling on the past only robs us of peace today. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring what's ahead or what's behind. It means finding a healthy balance, learning from the past, and planning for the future without letting either steal the now. Each moment is a fresh opportunity to reconnect with life as it's happening, because this moment, right here, is where real living occurs. Another key Stoic principle is self-discipline, often misunderstood as rigidity or self-denial. But in truth, it's a powerful form of self-respect. It's about making choices that align with your values, even when it's hard. Whether it's staying committed to a fitness goal, managing your money wisely, or resisting distractions to pursue something meaningful, self-discipline helps shape a life of long-term fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius captured it perfectly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Self-discipline gives us control over our impulses and emotions rather than letting them control us. Seneca echoed this, urging us to govern our desires rather than be ruled by them. Even Aristotle emphasized its importance in leading a virtuous and prosperous life. In the end, self-discipline isn't about restriction, it's about freedom, the freedom to become who we truly want to be. Aristotle believed that excellence is achieved through habit, and self-discipline is the key to building those habits. It's not about occasional bursts of willpower, but about consistent daily choices that align with your values and long-term goals. Carl Jung added a modern lens to this idea, showing how self-discipline helps us integrate the many sides of our personality to live a more balanced and authentic life. The good news? Building self-discipline starts small. Pick one habit, maybe eating healthier, saving money, or waking up earlier, and stick with it. Each time you choose long-term growth over short-term comfort, you're strengthening that internal muscle. Epictetus said it best, "No great thing is created suddenly." It's about progress, not perfection. Every day offers a fresh chance to practice self-discipline and move closer to the person you want to become. And when things get tough, as they inevitably will, self-discipline helps you stay the course. This journey is about choosing what's right, not what's easy, and in doing so, carving out a life of deeper fulfillment. That leads us straight into the next Stoic pillar, emotional resilience. Life will throw curveballs, and feeling upset, angry, or overwhelmed is perfectly human. But emotional resilience is the ability to ride those waves without letting them drown you. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them, processing them, and then choosing how to respond. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, You have power over your mind, not outside events. That's the heart of resilience, knowing we can't always control what happens, but we can control how we respond. Seneca taught that adversity is not something to fear, but a test of character. When we face challenges with grace and patience, we come out stronger on the other side. So how do we build this kind of resilience? Let's explore. Emotional resilience begins with self-awareness, recognizing and accepting our emotions without letting them control us. It's okay to feel anger, sadness, or frustration, but instead of reacting impulsively, we can pause and choose responses that align with our values. Aristotle's idea of the golden mean, finding balance between extremes, applies perfectly here. Carl Jung believed true wholeness comes from embracing all parts of ourselves, including our emotional depths. So when you're caught in a storm of emotions, start by acknowledging what you feel without judgment, then step back and reflect on the trigger. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This mindset transforms emotional turmoil into an opportunity for growth. Building emotional resilience means developing tools like mindfulness, journaling, honest conversations, and above all, self-compassion. It's not about never feeling bad, it's about handling those feelings with strength and grace. And that leads us to one of the most profound Stoic practices, Memento mori, remember you will die. To the Stoics, this wasn't a gloomy thought, but a call to live fully and meaningfully. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Seneca warned against wasting time and urged us to live deliberately. And Epictetus taught that awareness of our mortality helps us value each moment. When we embrace this truth, we stop postponing joy, passion, and authenticity. Instead of fearing the end, we let it sharpen our focus on love, on purpose, on gratitude. So, think about what you've been putting off. Memento mori invites us to stop waiting and start living, because this moment right now is all we truly have. Gratitude, though simple, has the power to transform our entire outlook. It's about focusing on what we have instead of what we lack, especially on tough days. The Stoics deeply valued this practice. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that just waking up, breathing, thinking, and loving is a privilege. Seneca warned that constant desire for more robs us of contentment, while Epictetus taught us to appreciate our circumstances as they are. Gratitude starts with small daily moments, like savoring your morning coffee or sharing a laugh with someone you love. Even in challenges, we can shift from "why me" to "what can I learn?" That change in perspective helps us grow. Gratitude also strengthens our relationships. A simple "thank you" can make someone feel seen and valued. Aristotle believed gratitude was essential for a virtuous, happy life because it tunes us into the good both around us and within us. So let's make gratitude a habit, not just something we feel, but something we live each day. Gratitude is more than just a feel-good concept. It has real, tangible benefits for our well-being. Research shows that people who regularly practice gratitude experience less anxiety, sleep better, and maintain a more positive outlook. As Carl Jung wisely noted, happiness would lose its meaning without the balance of sadness. And through acknowledging both, we find a deeper, more authentic form of happiness. By embracing gratitude, we start cherishing our experiences, living more mindfully, and expressing appreciation for the little things. It becomes the foundation of a fulfilling life, where we focus on what we have rather than what we lack. Remember, it's not happiness that brings us gratitude, but gratitude that brings us happiness. let's raise our glasses to the beauty of gratitude, even on the cloudiest days. When it comes to personal excellence, the Stoics believed virtue was the highest good, and that every action should aim to cultivate it. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless wisdom, said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This statement embodies the essence of personal excellence, living in alignment with the values we admire and striving to embody them every day. Seneca highlighted the importance of continuous self-improvement, emphasizing that true excellence arises from within and is reflected in our choices. Epictetus reminded us that our reactions, emotions, and willpower are within our control, and mastering these is key to leading a virtuous life. So, what does focusing on personal excellence look like in our everyday lives? It begins with setting personal standards based on our own values, not on societal expectations or comparisons with others. It's about understanding our strengths and weaknesses and taking consistent steps toward improvement. Personal excellence also involves resilience, how we handle setbacks and failures, not just how we celebrate successes. Aristotle wisely said, "Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution." It's through intentional choices and the wisdom to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth that we shape our destiny. Focusing on personal excellence also involves cultivating a growth mindset, a concept emphasized by modern psychology. This mindset revolves around the belief that our abilities and intelligence can grow with effort, persistence, and dedication. It encourages us to embrace challenges, stay resilient through setbacks, and view effort as the path to mastery. Personal excellence, however, goes beyond skills and achievements. It's about living authentically, being true to who we are and what we value, even when it's difficult. It's making choices that align with our true selves, embracing both our struggles and our triumphs as part of our unique journey. Gratitude, as we've discussed, plays a vital role in this pursuit. By appreciating where we are, we foster a positive outlook that supports our growth. So, let's commit to focusing on personal excellence. Let's set our own standards, honor our individual paths, and take pride in our progress. It's not about perfection, but about being proud of who we are and how we live. It's about celebrating our efforts, learning from every experience, and striving every day to be the best version of ourselves. Now, let's talk about not caring what others think. In a world driven by social media, where external validation often defines our self-worth, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval from others. But here's a liberating truth. Your worth is not based on what others think. It's about being true to yourself, living authentically, and aligning your life with your values. The Stoics had profound insights on this. They taught that our inner peace and freedom come from focusing on what's within our control, our actions, our thoughts, and our integrity, not on the fluctuating opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius captured this beautifully, saying, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinions of others." This highlights the paradox many of us face. We often place greater value on others' judgments than on our own self-assessment. Seneca, too, emphasized the importance of living a life true to oneself, independent of others' expectations or approval. He believed that real contentment comes from within, by living in alignment with our principles and values. Epictetus, ever the pragmatist, taught that worrying about what others think is beyond our control, and therefore not worth our energy. Instead, he urged us to focus on our own actions and on living virtuously, as that's where our true power lies. So, how can we care less about what others think and more about being true to ourselves. Start by recognizing that you are the author of your own story. Your worth is determined by you, not by society, your social media followers, or anyone else. It's about building your self-esteem on your values, the kindness you share, and the effort you put into becoming your best self. Next, practice self-reflection. Ask yourself, whose life am I living? Am I making choices based on my desires, or am I trying to fit into someone else's mold? This reflection will help realign your actions with your true self. And finally, embrace vulnerability. Being authentic means acknowledging your flaws and understanding that perfection is an illusion. It's okay to be a work in progress, learning from your mistakes. This authenticity will attract the right people into your life, the ones who appreciate the real you. And as Aristotle wisely said, life is about balance. Apply this to how you value others' opinions. Find the balance between considering constructive feedback and maintaining your self-worth and autonomy. Incorporating a Stoic mindset means understanding that your worth is not defined by external validation, but by your virtues, actions, and commitment to living a meaningful life. Build a strong inner fortress that remains unshaken by fleeting external judgments. Let's commit to valuing ourselves for who we truly are, not for the likes, follows, or approval we receive. Let's embrace courage in our authenticity, living lives that resonate with our deepest truths. Your worth is inherent and unique, and by being true to yourself, you shine your light in the most genuine way possible. Let's not just navigate life, but thrive in it with the confidence that comes from knowing we are living authentically, aligned with our values and true to ourselves. Now, let's talk about accepting change. Accepting change isn't just necessary, it's vital for our growth and happiness. The reality is, the only constant in life is change. Learning to go with the flow and embrace life's inevitable shifts makes navigating them less intimidating and more of an adventure. The Stoics had an incredibly healthy perspective on change. They saw it as a natural part of the universe's rhythm. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs." This profound acceptance of change as part of life's fabric helps us understand that each change, whether we see it as good or bad, has its place in our story. Seneca cautioned against becoming too attached to our current circumstances, as those circumstances will inevitably change. He advised us to be flexible and to understand that change isn't just part of life. It's a necessary component of our personal development and happiness. Epictetus encouraged us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't. While we can't control external events, we can control our attitudes towards them. This mindset is incredibly empowering when dealing with change. It's about focusing on our responses, finding growth opportunities within change, and moving forward with resilience. But how can we become more accepting of change? First, by acknowledging that change is inevitable. It's the natural order of things. Everything around us is in a constant state of flux. Seasons change, people come and go, and our very selves are renewing themselves as we speak. Embracing change means embracing life itself. Second, by practicing mindfulness. Being present in the moment allows us to appreciate our current experiences without clinging to them, letting go of the need for everything to stay the same. By embracing change, we step into the flow of life and open ourselves to growth and transformation. This awareness creates space for acceptance when those experiences inevitably evolve or come to an end. Third, by seeking the lessons in change. Every shift in our lives, no matter how challenging, comes with opportunities to learn and grow. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can turn the challenges of change into stepping stones for personal development. Aristotle spoke about the importance of pursuing a virtuous life as the key to happiness. Part of virtue is adaptability, the ability to navigate life's changes with grace and wisdom. It's about finding balance and harmony within the flux of life. Modern psychology supports this Stoic approach to change. Viewing change as an opportunity rather than a threat can significantly reduce stress and anxiety levels. It enhances our resilience, making us better equipped to handle whatever life throws our way. Let's remind ourselves that change is not just something to endure, but to welcome as a natural, enriching part of our journey. By accepting change, we open ourselves to new experiences, growth, and the beautiful unfolding of our unique paths in life. Remember, going with the flow isn't about passivity, it's about actively engaging with life in its full dynamic complexity. Let's navigate the currents of change with courage, grace, and a heart open to the endless possibilities that change brings. Practicing compassion and empathy. Despite our differences, we are all in this together, navigating the complex journey of life. By fostering an understanding and caring attitude towards others, we contribute to making the world a kinder, more loving place. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who continue to enlighten us with their timeless wisdom, placed great importance on the virtues of compassion and empathy. They believed in the interconnectedness of all humans and taught that kindness and understanding towards others are essential aspects of living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, reminded us that human beings are social creatures by nature, meant to live in harmony and cooperation with one another. He said, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." This beautifully illustrates the idea that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of others. Seneca emphasized the importance of treating others with kindness and generosity. He argued that compassion is a natural human instinct, and by helping others, we also help ourselves. In his writings, Seneca encourages us to extend our empathy even to those who have wronged us, understanding that they too are acting out of their own struggles and limitations. Epictetus taught that we should strive to understand others' perspectives, recognizing that everyone has their reasons for their actions. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather approaching others with a mindset of empathy, seeking to understand their experiences and viewpoints. How can we practice compassion and empathy in our daily lives? It starts with listening, truly listening to the stories, experiences, and feelings of those around us. It's about putting ourselves in their shoes, imagining their struggles, joys, fears, and hopes. This act of understanding can bridge the gap between us, fostering a sense of connection and shared humanity. Another way to cultivate compassion and empathy is through acts of kindness. No matter how small, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, these can all make a significant difference in someone's day. By being present and attentive to others, we signal that they matter, that their feelings and experiences are valid and important. Practicing compassion and empathy also means being there for others in times of need, offering support and understanding without judgment. By doing so, we contribute to building a more compassionate and harmonious world, one small act of kindness at a time. It's about recognizing the value and dignity of every person, regardless of our differences. The ancient philosopher Aristotle spoke about the importance of friendship and the role of empathy in building strong, meaningful relationships. He believed that true friends not only share in each other's joys, but also in their sorrows, supporting each other with empathy and understanding. Modern psychology supports the Stoic emphasis on compassion and empathy, showing that these virtues not only enhance our relationships, but also our emotional well-being. By caring for others, we foster a sense of belonging, purpose, and happiness in our own lives. Let's remind ourselves that behind every face is a story, behind every action is a reason, and that by understanding and caring for each other, we make the world a kinder, gentler place. In doing so, we not only enrich the lives of those around us, but also find deeper fulfillment and joy in our own lives. Together, let's spread kindness like confetti, creating ripples of compassion that transform the world, one act of empathy at a time. Reflecting and reviewing regularly. This is about taking a pause, a real, meaningful pause, to look back on our actions, our thoughts, and the paths we've tread. It's about growth, introspection, and aligning our lives with our deepest values in a world that's always rushing forward. This practice is our anchor, ensuring we are not just being swept away, but are sailing in the direction that's true to us. The Stoics, with their profound insights into human nature, placed immense value on the practice of reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, which we now treasure as meditations, offered a model of this practice. He didn't just rule an empire, he took the time to examine his life, his decisions, and his moral compass through writing. He saw this reflection as essential to living a life of virtue and purpose. "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," he wrote, reminding us that our internal dialogue shapes our external reality. Seneca recommended regular self-assessment as a way to foster self-improvement and wisdom. He likened life to a play, suggesting that we periodically review our roles and performances. Are we acting in harmony with the character we wish to embody? Are our actions reflective of the script? Do we value the script of our lives? Epictetus encouraged his students to end each day with a review of their actions and attitudes. This wasn't about self-criticism, but about self-awareness and growth. He urged us to ask ourselves, what did I do well? What did I do wrong? What duties were left undone? Through such questions, we can steer our lives more consciously, making adjustments that bring us closer to our ideals. But how do we incorporate this Stoic practice of reflection and review into our modern lives? First, by making it a habit, dedicate a few minutes each day, perhaps before bedtime, to reflect on your day. What were your victories? Where did you face challenges, and how did you respond? This practice can start as a mental exercise, but writing it down can enhance its benefits, giving you a tangible record of your journey. Second, use reflection as a tool for gratitude. In reviewing your day, take note of the moments, no matter how small, that brought you joy or gratitude. This balances our natural tendency to focus on the negative, cultivating a more positive outlook on life. Third, approach this practice with kindness and compassion towards yourself. Reflection is not about berating yourself for mistakes, but about recognizing them as opportunities for learning and growth. Be as understanding and supportive to yourself as you would be to a dear friend. Aristotle spoke about the importance of living a reflective life. He believed that true wisdom comes from understanding ourselves, our actions, and our place in the world. Reflecting regularly helps us live with intention, ensuring that our actions align with our values and our true selves. This reflection is the heart of living an examined life, aligned with virtue and excellence. Regular reflection brings mental clarity, emotional growth, and better decision-making. By reviewing our experiences, we process emotions, learn from our actions, and gain valuable insight. Let this practice be our guide, helping us actively shape our lives according to our values. Through reflection, we become more aligned, aware, and in tune with who we are and who we aim to be. It's through introspection that we find true fulfillment and joy. The lessons from Stoicism are more than just ancient wisdom. They're practical life hacks for managing stress, making better choices, and finding peace in the midst of chaos. Challenges don't define us, but the strength and wisdom we gain from facing them do. Each step, each reflection, each act of kindness is a part of your life's masterpiece. Let's not just exist. Let's live with purpose and authenticity. Keep growing, reflecting, and embracing life's beautiful complexity. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. Until next time, remember, live not for applause, but for the cause, being your most genuine self. Take care, and I look forward to our next step together.